Cyber Uncut. Discover the changing face of business, government and national security as Australia navigates the cyber revolution.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. You are listening to the Cyber Uncut podcast. My name is David Hollingworth. I'm the Deputy Editor of Cyber Daily. I am joined by my colleague,
Daniel Croft.
my journalist friend. How are you?
Good. Tired.
It's been that kind of week.
Yeah. Just one of those weeks with news and all sorts. So yeah. How about you?
A few special projects on the side. Yeah, pretty good. Very, very busy week. Lots of hacks. Like global big stuff going on, which we'll get to, and some more intimate local stuff. When I say intimate, I mean that in the worst possible way.
Yep.
But we'll get to that as well. But before we get to that, let's talk AI.
Yeah.
What's the news?
So the New South Wales government is taking interest in AI. We just saw news this morning that they are launching an office for AI. Mm-hmm. I believe that's going to be part of the Department of Customer Service or something like that.
Okay, so they're looking at using AI for chatbots, that kind of stuff.
I'm not sure exactly. That is still one that I'm writing at the moment, but it kind of will be rolled out to speed up processes and things like that. Lots of stuff for public sector.
Okay.
And kind of overlooking that process.
Yeah.
But what we did report on yesterday is that they have launched... they're looking to adopt AI to speed up housing developments and data centers and other major projects.
Yep.
So the Department of Planning, Housing and Infrastructure said on the 1st of September that the department is after a ready-to-use solution that will assist with planning documents and matching them against local planning regulations.
Yeah.
So the AI will do things like, check local regulations, as that suggested. Mm-hmm. It will kind of just do things to speed up the process of getting these projects underway. As you know, there's a housing crisis that we're dealing with at the moment, so it would be an ideal kind of thing for that. The country is looking at becoming more of an AI kind of...
Yes, for better or worse, yes.
Yeah, so speeding up data center production, other major projects and stuff like that. It's not launched yet, but it is coming. So, it's quite interesting seeing the state quite quickly adopt AI. It seems to be quite quick. But hopefully with that comes...
the proper guidelines.
Yeah, and that's what I think this Office for AI probably will be.
All about regulatory compliance, that kind of stuff. Getting it done
I hope
right.
so. I hope so.
Fingers crossed,
I do need to look into that one more.
And Qantas is making some AI moves.
So Qantas is announcing this group-wide AI capability that it wants to develop. So it already has a generative AI assistant for senior corporate teams, all designed to drive productivity and all of that. But they want to expand that beyond corporate training. Yeah. They want to do stuff to optimize kind of planning and catering to reduce food waste.
Okay.
And they want to just kind of reduce value leakage in total with this AI. So different to just this kind of what a lot of other companies are doing and just having, let's have a chatbot on our website. Yeah. They're also doing that. They're launching a brand new website.
Unsurprising.
But so they said that it would be this is a part of a wider technological kind of change. They said that they'd be making a strategic investment in technology to deliver transformation value. One of the things they're doing in this is improving cyber capabilities. And as we know, they just suffered a cyber attack through the third-party Salesforce. Yeah. They're kind of doing this big tech change, but they're pretty quick to adopt AI. Hopefully it works for them.
And it's interesting because we're looking there at two of the probably most positive and useful use cases for AI. One, in cybersecurity, where it can just deal with alert fatigue and deal with mountains of data. And another thing that AI deals with is just mountains of data generally. And I imagine an airline has a lot of data points to manage.
Yeah, well, look, there's no mention of AI being used in cyber. This is kind of just part of they're two parts of a wider technological development. But it wouldn't surprise me, as we know, cyber professionals are increasingly adopting AI.
Yes.
As are the criminals. So it wouldn't surprise me at all.
If AI wasn't at the heart of their cyber solution anyway.
It very well may be. Yeah. But I don't know the specifics on that. But I do hope that this AI rollout goes well, because as we've discussed,
so it worked so well for Commonwealth Bank, didn't it?
Yeah, that's exactly it. They've already rolled theirs back. Taco Bell, we wrote about this week. Yeah, they introduced a few years ago AI drive-through ordering systems.
You did show me this, and it's kind of hilarious.
It is really funny. I've used one.
Yep.
KFC have trialled it at a couple of locations in New South Wales. I believe Penrith was the one I went to. And we go in and we drive through the drive-through, and it's this big archway and everything like that. And the AI starts talking. And I'm like, oh, this is so weird.
Yeah.
So I make my order, it can't hear me, and then within 5 seconds, human takes over.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think they were finding that was happening a lot with Taco Bell. There was a funny video that...
this is hilarious.
Yeah, this guy bypassed the AI by ordering 18,000 water cups. Now, water cups, I believe, are free.
Yes.
It's not like a bottled water. It's just a cup of water.
What's hilarious is there's this pause, and then a very tired human voice. How can I help you?
Yeah. And the AI sounding like they were going to do it before they cut off.
I absolutely.
I can.
No, you can't. Please don't.
So yeah, they're looking to roll that back. A lot of companies seem to be purely because I think people are jumping the gun on this.
Yeah.
The regulation's not there for one. The kind of technological capability of what they need it to do isn't there either, and they're underestimating the value of human work tied in with all of this.
And look at it this way, it can be hard enough to get, either Siri or your Google Home Assistant to do what you want in the quietness of your own home when it can pick up every word. Doing it in a busy parking lot with revving engines behind you, you're in a car, you're leaning this way to try and talk to them. It's not going to understand what you're saying one bit.
No. I think that is... I can see why they want to roll that out. It concerns me because that will also put tons and tons and tons of minimum wage workers out of jobs. I think so many people, tons of my friends when I was in school, their first job was working at Macca's. And that is, what a lot of people do. Taco Bell would be the same, KFC, all of these fast food, fast food places. You replace people who are barely making enough to get by or not making enough to get by with the AI.
Yeah.
Cool.
And if all of that job, that level of job skill gets replaced by AI, where do they go?
Yeah, exactly. Have you just created a barrier? Because these aren't, I know that there's human intervention now.
Of course, yes.
And people are going to say, jobs are changing and everything like that. Will jobs change in that market? Will jobs change if you can just replace those workers, people who typically have had no experience prior or have gone to this job because of, a change of industry and they're studying or whatever it is.
Yeah.
At that level of work where it's usually a first job or, something like that, are you blocking people out of the job market? Are you making it a million times harder for them to get into it?
Yeah.
Because people say, people are just going to be working with AI. Well, that's probably going to be higher up stuff, right?
I heard one AI tech bro, he said he gets excited at the idea of how AI is going to just make whole classes of jobs disappear. He thinks that, every job lost to AI is a success, and I'm like,
well, let it take yours then, bro. That annoys me. That quite annoys me. It's such an out of touch comment.
Yeah.
And, it's not the first one we've heard from AI.
No.
Bros.
Yeah. So, some slightly good news here. This is a federal government thing, isn't it? They are taking huge steps and leaps and strides to ban Nudify apps.
Yeah, so
which is really positive.
Nudify apps, it's kind of a term that they were using, but it's pretty much deepfake apps where you can make someone naked or whatever.
Yeah. Remove their clothes.
These are very concerning and very, very harmful apps.
Absolutely.
Obviously, from a bullying perspective, from a sexual predator perspective, from, you name it. There's nothing really good to come from this.
No.
So, people have been able to have these apps, put someone's face in, create nude content.
Yep.
I'm sure that there are people who've used these apps just for a laugh, with their mates. But that is not the point.
No.
It is not worth to have that laugh when there's such a real danger created.
And we've seen
by
a couple of instances here in Australia where this deep fake Nudify art is being circulated amongst kids at school, and when it surfaces that you, and often it's a young girl who's impacted, that half the school has seen this image of you naked, whether or not it's actually you, it doesn't matter. School was rough enough when I went through it.
Yeah.
I just can't imagine what it'd be like now.
Yeah, well, look, that still counts as CSAM, child sexual
Absolutely,
abuse material.
The AFP actually arrested an Australian individual a week or two back, a couple of weeks ago, I think. They searched his phone when he re-entered the country. They found what they thought was virtually created CSAM material on his device. They found it on his home and promptly arrested him.
Yep.
So whether it's fake or not, it's against the law.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So and even children can be charged with distribution of that. So so anyway, E-Safety Commissioner Julie Inman-Grant last year said the rapid acceleration and proliferation of these really powerful AI technologies is quite astounding. You don't need thousands of images of the person or vast amounts of computing power. You can just harvest images from social media and tell the app an age and a body type. So disturbing.
Yeah.
And it spits out an image in a few seconds.
Yeah.
So the Albanese government's now said that it's going to be taking action of this. That it's this and I believe tracking apps, like stalking apps.
Oh, yeah.
So they acknowledge there's a legitimate place for this. So me and my partner, we have our location on for each other.
Yeah.
That's fine. But as Communications Minister Anika Wells said, there is no place for apps and technologies that are used solely to abuse, humiliate, and harm people, especially our children.
Yeah.
They're going to work with industry on working out what the best way to tackle these apps is, but it's kind of coming off the back of proposed legislation from last year, which I believe said that it would become a criminal offence to even have one of these apps on your phone, with a maximum penalty, I believe, of 15 years.
It's interesting how quickly we've gone from benign face-changing apps. The classic, I promise I'm not a cat.
Yeah.
That guy, it's the same tech, basically, but how quickly it's accelerated to something we need to actually criminalize.
I know. But it's completely legitimate. I completely agree with this move.
I can't blame them.
Of a similar note, Meta has kind of been slammed for similar kind of...
Oh, boy.
Similar but different.
Yeah.
So Meta has a tool that allows you to create chatbots.
Yeah.
Right. And while their terms of service say that if you're creating it of a celebrity, it must be deemed a parody, otherwise it's not allowed, right? So what Reuters found, this is their report originally, is that Meta non-consensually used the likenesses of several major female celebrities and male to create flirty chatbots. Now, not all of them were created by Meta themselves.
Flirty, how delightful.
Yeah. Well, most of these were made by users.
Yeah.
Right, but they still violated Meta's terms of service and everything like that. But one Meta engineer did create at least three, including two Taylor Swift ones.
Why am I unsurprised it's Taylor Swift? It's always Taylor Swift.
The actresses that Reuters mentioned were Taylor Swift, Anne Hathaway, Scarlett Johansson, and Selena Gomez.
Wow.
Now, it gets worse.
Yeah.
There was one case where there's a 16-year-old movie star called Walker Scoble. He's a 16-year-old boy. Someone used the Meta tool to create a flirty chatbot of him, asked it to make an image of him without a shirt on at the beach. And rather than the AI going, that's not appropriate, that violates our terms of service.
I'm not gonna like this, aren't I?
He responded with the AI as if the AI was the person and said, "Pretty cute, huh?"
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's really bad. Reuters has been testing these a lot. They found that these chatbots created photorealistic images of the celebrities they were posing as when requested by users, including lingerie with legs spread, bathtubs, that kind of stuff. But then these chatbots also really, really passionately existed that they were the people they were impersonating.
Yeah.
Really. And then they kept making sexual advances and asking the user to meet up with them. Really, really weird. Meta has spoken about this.
Yeah.
Andy Stone, spokesperson for Meta, said that AI chatbots should not have created images of child celebrities at all, let alone intimate ones, or intimate images of adult celebrities.
Yeah.
It's allowed to create images of adult celebrities normally, just not intimate ones.
Yeah. Meanwhile, what the heck's Grok doing? Probably something absolutely ludicrous in the corner that no one wants to know about.
Yeah, for this, we do not talk about Grok. So Meta's policies prohibit this kind of content, and he said, look, we've messed up. We have not, followed our own terms. We're happy to permit the generation of public figures' images, but any nude, intimate, or sexually aggressive imagery is prohibited. And Meta has deleted roughly a dozen bots, some parody and some labeled not as parody, showing that whole system didn't work either.
Yeah.
So, good that Meta's taken action, but too little too late.
Bad that they had to when it's their own product.
Yeah. And, people to go on about like regulation is going to stifle innovation. That's not innovation. That is dangerous.
Yeah.
Regulation needs to speed up.
Yeah.
And this is a perfect
this whole
example
move
of
fast, break things attitude is just... I used to think, that's kind of cool, but it's just getting more obvious that's a very dangerous attitude to move fast, break things. No, move slowly. Be careful about what you're doing, especially when it's...
It's very much a shoot first, ask questions later, except you're just spraying and praying. You're not shooting at problems.
Absolutely, yeah.
So it's...
Yeah, and with those deep sighs, we're going to go away, we're going to clear our heads, we're going to come back with crimes. Back soon.
Woo.
Okay, welcome back to Cyber Uncut. He's Dan, I'm David. We are representing Cyber Daily. And unsurprisingly, there's been a lot of crime this week.
Yeah.
And I'm going to take center stage on this one, I think, because I reported on most of it. So ask away anything you want to know about these.
Cool.
We're going to kick off with Salesloft Drift, which is a Salesforce plugin, essentially. And already this has been called the largest supply chain hack of the year. Last year it probably would have been called the largest supply chain hack ever, but 2024 was the year of the supply chain hack.
Yes.
And we have a whole new normal to live with now.
Yeah.
So first up, who's being impacted by this? At least, as of last count, 700 organizations worldwide. And we're not talking, just mom and pop enterprises. We're talking big security companies and cloud companies like Zscaler or Zscaler, depending on who you talk to. Palo Alto Networks.
Cloudflare?
Cloudflare, yes. PagerDuty, all have fallen victim to this hack. So I just want to take you through the timeline and our listeners through the timeline of it because it's kind of fascinating. On August 20, Salesloft Drift, which is basically a marketing plugin that links into a customer's Salesforce platform. On the 20th of August, they said, we detected a security issue in the Drift application. Out of an abundance of caution, we proactively revoked connections between Drift and Salesforce and are asking Drift admins to re-authenticate their Salesforce connection. Yeah, it sounds okay. It's something, they're on top of it. Everything's fine. A few days later, things start getting very serious. On the 25th, investigation is still going. Then a couple of days later, on the 26th, everything gets bad. From August 8 to August 18, a threat actor used authorization credentials to exfiltrate data from our customers' Salesforce instances. All impacted customers have been notified. And ever since then, it's just been getting nastier and nastier. On the 27th on this, Google's gotten into it. Some of their customers are compromised as well. Google's actually now said maybe everybody needs to change their Gmail password just in case.
Yeah.
Now, the data that's been impacted, by and large, isn't critical.
Yeah.
It's customer details. It's names, it's addresses, it's work contacts. But also in there are some support conversations. And that means there could be all kinds of identifiers for how networks are managed and who's running whom. There's enough that, and the scale of the data and scope of the data is enough that some quite serious mischief could be made from it. And guess who may be behind it?
Our best friends.
Our friends. Yeah, so this is what Bleeping Computer has said, and I can't quite dig into their background, but if anyone's going to know anything, it's Bleeping Computer.
Yeah.
And it's our friends at Shiny Hunters, who we know have a great fondness for anything related to Salesforce.
Yeah.
So if it's Shiny Hunters, it's therefore more than likely elements of Scattered Spider under that. What's the Scattered Lapsus Spider?
Scattered Lapsus Hunters.
That's the one.
Yeah.
So it could well be those guys involved. And by the way, they've been going on a huge recruitment spree at the moment on
they
their
have,
Telegram channel.
which is really hard to track because their Telegram was taken down. They were banned from Telegram.
Yep.
They were operating briefly, I believe, from Shiny Hunters Telegram.
Yeah.
I could be wrong on that. And I can't find anything else. So it seems to be you need to be really in the know to see where this is because it's very
Dark Web
down.
Informer seems capable of tracking them.
Dark Web
Seems capable
Informer
of tracking them,
usually is. Shout out to them.
So what they're looking to hire, they want insider threats now. Like if you work at any of these big companies, Okta, CrowdStrike, you name it, come to us. We have money.
I saw they were actually offering money. I saw this morning to law enforcement.
Yes, I saw that
like
one as well.
FBI and stuff like that, saying, "Hey, we've got money. If you want to, be a double agent for us."
The thing is, these guys must have money. We know that they are probably one of the most competent hacking groups, collectives, communities. Who knows?
Yeah.
But this group of people, as widespread as they may be, are a clear and present danger to pretty much anybody with an internet-facing connection.
It sounds like it's manned by quite a lot of people, and it's obviously got some kind of it's a super group. They've got some kind of people who've been doing this a long time and everything like that, who are really, really kind of ingrained in the kind of like in the drama and the industry and everything like that.
Very much into the drama.
Yeah, drama is definitely a word to put in there, having read some of the stuff I've read between groups. But yeah, it is still hard to identify.
Yeah.
I've heard things that Scattered Spider itself does not actually exist.
No, I've heard that one too.
Boogeymanned it into existence. But hey, they're gonna jump on a brand.
Yeah,
but Shiny Hunters does.
Yes.
And Lapsus does.
Yes.
So
everything points to those guys being behind this. But again, 700 organizations, and these are some of these victims are some of the most respected people when it comes to security, and even they can't keep these bastards out. I mean, it's wild.
I feel bad for Salesforce because they themselves didn't do anything wrong, but I reckon you're going to see a lot of companies going, we're going to go somewhere else.
Yeah.
Because Salesforce did clarify, none of this was us.
Yep.
These are private instances that the companies managed that they messed up.
Yep.
Us as a company, we've done nothing wrong, and they haven't.
Yeah.
Salesforce haven't.
The absolute illustration of third-party risk here is incredible.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
This is going to be in the textbooks.
Yeah. No doubt about that. Speaking of one for the textbooks, Dan and I have come across a brand new ransomware actor.
Yes.
Lunalock. Only have one victim so far, but before we get to that victim, have you looked at their leak site yet?
No, I haven't.
Very, very slick.
Okay.
It looks like whoever designed the page, if not the entire group, probably a native English speaker. Lots of drop downs. It's a very, very nice looking site. Now, one victim is a group called Artists and Commissions.
Okay.
Artists and Clients.
Right.
That's who it is. This is a group you can go to. I want to commission art from someone. The art comes to you. Boom, you're happy, you get your art. So Lunalock has compromised their data. Artist and Client's website is offline. If you go to Google and search for them, the search result, you know how you got the preview text? Thing? That preview text is the ransom note.
Ooh, that's a nice touch.
Yeah, that was like, ooh, that's nasty.
Yeah.
And what Lunalock is threatening to do is not just the usual pay us money and we'll unlock your data, pay us money or we'll publish your data online. It's all of those. Pay us money or we'll put all of your art into training stuff for AI. We will just dump it.
The interesting thing about that is because you might have some artists that go, I don't whatever, it'll show up there anyway.
Yeah.
It's a threat not just to them; it's a threat to all artists of all types.
Yes, exactly.
That's a really, really scary one. I'm having a quick look at the site now. It's all hidden. But yeah, it is quite a slick site.
You see what I mean?
Yeah.
You would expect that people listening out there that anybody capable of reaching through the internet and stealing and encrypting data and then doing all of this and to be a hacker, to be technically proficient. A lot of the times these websites suck.
They do. But
a lot of them are built on the criminal equivalent of WordPress templates.
Yeah.
But these guys, from their site design alone, and I know it's a weird long bow to pull, but these guys seem competent.
They've got like an FAQ system on here for each question.
They've also got their ransom note there, and if you click that open, the ransom note's a HTML note, not just a little text file.
Yeah.
It's an interactive HTML note, complete with drop downs about what if I don't have the money? Will you scam me?
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at now. I'm a user. What will happen to my data? This is crazy. The police or other authorities cannot help you with this. If you do not pay, all files will be leaked, including personal user data. This may cause you to be subject to fines and penalties under the GDPR and other laws. In addition to this, all artwork will be submitted to AI companies to be added to training data sets.
It's just,
boom. That is really brutal.
Yeah.
How do I use Tor?
They've got everything.
Wow.
I'm going to keep an eye on these guys. So normally when a new ransomware actor comes on the scene, they'll have like a dozen or so victims. They'll come out of nowhere. Here we go for those
it was
watching at
definitely
home.
hidden. Yes, it was.
It was. they'll have any number of victims. These guys have just got one, and they're going hard after them. So I can't work out. Does it mean these guys are good at what they do, or these are the only guys they could hack and they're making the best of it? I have no idea.
Don't have an
It's
answer
one to
there.
watch.
Yeah, it is one to watch. These
But
guys are
regardless,
new.
That very unique tactic of threatening not just the data, but the creative nature of the data and going after that directly.
Yeah, it's because it's obviously they're not doing encryption. It doesn't look like.
No.
But there are two forms of extortion there. It's not double extortion, but it's traditional sense. But
could almost have been triple extortion.
Yeah.
The fact that the website's down makes me suggest that it might have been some data compromise as well.
well, true. Yeah, their operations are down. It could also be that Lunalock took it down.
Yeah.
Oh, not Lunalock. The company itself took it down.
Could
the
be.
agency itself.
That's entirely possible.
To protect.
Yeah.
From future stuff. But
it's a really interesting
but the ransom
evolution.
note's there.
The
So
ransom note's there,
could have been some sort of
there's something weird going on
back-end
there.
trickery.
I think so, yeah. But regardless, it's a really, really interesting evolution in ransomware tactics.
It is.
Now, we're talking about ransomware tactics. We're talking about extortion, and a lot of these ransomware actors, as you know quite well, and probably a lot of our listeners know if they listen to us regularly, these guys often position themselves as kind of like noble penetration testers. They're doing the victim a favor, showing the weaknesses in their network. They wouldn't hack anyone if they weren't hackable, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
If ever you want an example that hackers of this stripe are just downright awful people, a hacking group recently listed Toowoomba Friendly's Society Dispensary. This is a pharmacy up in Queensland, deals with a small community, as an NDIS registered provider. And this group, I forget who it was. How can I forget who hacked these guys? Bear with me one moment while I quite excitedly on...
Dragon Force.
Thank you, Dragon Force. Yes. Yes, how can I forget Dragon Force? So I don't know if negotiations ever happened. I don't know if they broke down. Don't know about that side of stuff. All I know is that Dragon Force published what appears to be a small amount of data, a little under 40 gigabytes.
Yeah,
of data.
35.82.
That's the one. However, it's outside of, say, maybe the Genea hack, and even then I would say this might be more sensitive. The data they have just dumped on the dark web.
Yeah.
Prescription data for people who have needed emergency contraceptives, data of people who are seeking help for methadone treatment.
Yep.
All of it just there. Dumped.
Photographs of patients.
Which is it is. I felt ill. We always go through data sets when we find them online to verify that, especially when we don't hear back from the victim, and in this case we did not, unfortunately. So it's up to us to confirm, okay, does it look like the real deal? This is absolutely the real deal. This is data that belongs to Toowoomba Friendly Society, and it's data that impacts its patients and clients. And I hate Dragon Force with a passion right now.
Yeah.
It's just terrible. And it's also, I will say, I'm a little bit disappointed in the dispensary itself because there's still nothing on their website saying, hey, we fell victim to a cyber attack.
Yeah.
Maybe they've reached out to their patients. I don't know. But again, they've not shared that with us.
It sounds like being like, because obviously, like you said, they're a small operation.
Yeah.
They're probably quite overwhelmed.
I imagine so. Yeah.
And, are they going, this is a case where you do weigh up, do I just pay ransom to get things done quickly? Or how do I protect my patients?
Yeah, yeah.
And, we know the method for that, but I think it's easy to forget that
This
these small businesses do not.
This is absolutely an instance where if I had ever learned that these guys paid their ransom, I'd be like, fair enough.
Yeah, well,
I mean, I hope it didn't cost you too much, but fair enough.
Yeah.
Go you for protecting your patients.
Yeah,
Data is... There is data that can be used really maliciously against these individuals.
Yeah, and, I think that that's one of the things where this company will not completely understand the ramifications of paying a ransom.
Yep.
And
we're not suggesting they have. They clearly
No,
have.
no, I'm not saying they have it all. Or what is the process of going about this and things like that. This is the perfect example where a small business who doesn't have that knowledge has been hit hard and they're probably scrambling. And I do hope all the best for them because this is really, really quite horrible.
Yeah. It's one of the nastiest ones I've seen. And if ever you want a reminder that any hacker who claims that nobility, don't believe them.
No,
they're criminals and they're not to be trusted. They are not to be relied upon.
No.
And on that, we're going to take a short break and come back with some, actually, for a change, really legitimately, mostly uplifting news.
Yes, absolutely.
All right, we'll be back very shortly. And welcome back to Cyber Uncut. I'm David. He's Dan. Let's talk heart health.
Yeah.
You might wonder where we're going with this, but trust us.
We're going to jump back to AI with this. So the British Heart Foundation has part-funded a study into an AI-powered stethoscope that doctors have been able to find 3 key heart conditions in patients in 15 seconds.
Yep.
Now, this is really, really, really cool. So there was a study where they had 200 GPs with over 1.5 million patients who had symptoms of fatigue and or breathlessness. Specific to the stethoscope, there were 12,725 patients examined over 96 GP surgeries using this AI-enabled stethoscope versus 109 surgeries that didn't use this stethoscope. And what they found is that there was a 3.5 times increase in atrial fibrillation diagnosis, a 2 times increase of heart valve disease and heart failure diagnosis. All of these are heart diseases that early treatment is key.
Yeah.
Really, really key.
Yep.
The way it would work is that it would take an ECG recording of the electrical signals emitted by the heart. Microphone would record blood flow sounds. It then sends that off to an AI on a secure cloud, which analyzes it, and then if it flags anything as being an issue, it sends a text to a phone. And you have a result like that.
This is a great use case for AI.
It is. Now, look, it's not perfect. It did kind of find that 70% of the GP surgeries that were given the AI stethoscopes stopped using it within 12 months.
Oh.
The integration with current systems is too finicky and hard.
Okay. Yeah.
That, a wider rollout of this technology so that all GPs could change and everything would be required. They also found the AI was kind of a bit overzealous when it flagged heart conditions, which is better to be overzealous than under. But 2 in 3 of the people flagged by the AI were found not to have heart failure after further tests and scans, which when you say that there were double the diagnoses and 2 in 3 didn't have it, are we kind of reaching to the same number anyway?
Yeah.
It kind of cancels that out.
I thought this was meant to be good news.
It is good. Look, it is good news.
Yeah,
It is
okay,
really,
cool.
really
All right,
good.
you're right.
I'm sorry, that sounded aggressive. It is very, very good news. British Heart Foundation clinical director and consultant cardiologist, Dr. Sonia Babunarayan, I apologise, said this is an elegant example of how the humble stethoscope invented over 200 years ago can be upgraded for the 21st century. We need innovations like these, providing early detection of heart failure, because so often this condition is only diagnosed at an advanced stage when patients attend hospital as an emergency. Given an earlier diagnosis, people can access the treatment they need to help them live well for longer.
Yeah, look, I mean, obviously, this is early days, right?
It is,
They're still rolling it out. They've worked out, okay, there are some problems we need to address.
Yeah, but
they
it was
know
a
what
trial.
those problems are,
It was a trial. That's
look,
what you...
It sounds positive to me, and as a dude in my 50s, I mean, this is something I care about and will probably continue to care about the older I get.
I have heart disease, I believe, in my family.
There you go. Yeah.
So a technology like this where you can nip it in the butt quick.
Yeah.
Brilliant. That's fantastic. And we're not always the most complimentary when it comes to AI.
We're not.
But
no, that's definitely something I think we can get behind.
There's nothing wrong with this at all.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's not perfect, but we're getting there.
Yeah.
We're getting there.
So here's another good story for the most part. Chalk one up to law enforcement. U.S. authorities, Federal Bureau of Investigation, working with Dutch National Police, the Netherlands Public Prosecution Office, have successfully taken down an identity fraud marketplace. This is a site that was called, it's called VeriFTools. In fact, I'm happy to say that name was all through the release that the DOJ put out about it. And apparently this site was just the place to go to if you wanted to create your own false documents.
Yeah.
It had how-tos, it had templates. It was basically like, how you go to a meme generator website? This is the same if you want to create a new driver's license in your or somebody else's name.
Yeah.
But now you go to that site and it says the VeriFTools marketplace has been taken down by the Dutch National Police and the domain has been seized by the FBI pursuant to a warrant issued by the United States District Court as part of a joint law enforcement operation and action by the aforementioned thing. So, yay, law enforcement taking down cyber criminals. Anyway, 1 minute later, the site was back up. And I've now actually been able to have a look at it. It's terrifying, Daniel. It is utterly terrifying. You can search it for all kinds of stuff for countries. So let's see. Let's have a look at Australia, shall we? You know how I said my laptop's really slow? My laptop is really, really slow.
Yeah.
Okay, let's just go. Okay, so I'll just scroll through the countries. That'll be a lot easier. And under Australia, we have Australia driver's license, Australia passport new, Australian passport, Australian Queensland driver's license. It's got a section for New Zealand as well, and it's all there. There's an FAQ, how to create signature, how to remove Photoshop traces from photos, how to print document and make selfie. It's literally a one-stop shop for identity fraud.
Yeah.
And yay, law enforcement for taking it down, but literally within hours it was up and running again at a different location. Which shows how difficult it is to deal with these guys who are clearly extra-national. That no arrest has been made, so the guys behind it probably just backed everything up and then rebooted.
This sounds like a very sophisticated kind of operation.
Yeah, but it's just the sheer ease of it is wild. You know, I don't drive. I don't have a driver's license, but I could.
Yeah.
I won't. I promise I won't. I won't do that. But looking through this is just, wow, is it that easy? Yes. It would, in fact, appear to be that easy. But that's the kind of challenge that law enforcement faces, right?
Yeah.
And we're not telling them to not bother just because it's so hard to do. But it's just an interesting illustration that for dealing with a lot of these criminals, it really is just whack-a-mole.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think I might leave it there.
I think so.
Oh, really? Maybe I do want to false part. No, I don't. Anyway, thank you for listening. I'm David Hollingworth. He's Daniel Croft. You've been listening to Cyber Uncut. We are from Cyber Daily. You can follow us online. We are on all the socials. You can sign up to our newsletter. It's very worthwhile. We'll be in your inbox every morning. And we'll be back next week.
Absolutely.
See you later.
See ya.